Good Friday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. Got a lot to cover today. It's Friday. We've got a lot of jam-packed information for you. Let me show you first off the visibility issues that we may have in spots maybe near the Smokies. I'm seeing maybe Mount LeConte, maybe reduced visibility, so you may find some fog clinging to the hills if you were traveling to, say, North Carolina. But all in all, it's pretty quiet for us, and will continue to be so as it appears at this particular time. Want to show you also the radar, because we do expect some rain today. I heard we're getting some showers and storms today. That's true. That's very true. The Ultimate Doppler radar presented by A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, focused on customer satisfaction. They won't quit until you're happy. Check them out at a1fincham.com. I have their contact information at the top of this screen. So what's it look like? Nothing here locally, because these showers and storms will be developing over time. So it may not occur during the morning hours. In fact, it may not even happen at lunchtime for you, although some places like Monticello or maybe Jamestown, they might have some showers before lunchtime. But all these showers are going to be moving in from west to east, and some haven't even formed yet. So some of the rain that we will be anticipating hasn't even developed yet on radar. As you can see, they've got some showers in Ohio. They've got some showers around, say, Indianapolis, in Indiana, and into western Kentucky, but not much showing up in Nashville just yet. As you can see around the state, it's just beginning to take shape, beginning to take form, I should say, around Clarksville, and maybe just to the east of Memphis. But boy, we welcome this rain. It's like we have a parade of, yay, come to my neighborhood, because my ground, my grass is crunchy, and my leaves, well, they're kind of crunchy too, those that are on the ground. Meanwhile, it is cold enough to snow in Canada. That's where we see some of those flakes flying, maybe also into Lake Superior and up into the Great White North up north. But anyway, as far as the radar to the south, things are beginning to dry up a little bit in Florida, as they've had some rainy situations down there. So I want to bring you up to speed, if I may. If you are new to town, or even if you've been here your whole life, these numbers change, because we take a set of normals from 1991 to 2020, and we work with that in the National Weather Service and the weather community. So if you look at November, in green, we averaged 4 1/4. 4.21 to be precise. That's the average for November. How much rain do you think we've had? I mean, just think about it. How much rain do you think we've had, not only in November, but how about October, September? If I told you it was 1.07 for like 2.5 months, that's it. That's why we're about 5 degrees. That's why we're about 5 inches below normal. So a very, very dry start to the autumn season. And as you can see here behind me, and also on the screen, I'll overlay the actual rainfall. This is the actual rainfall that's fallen, 0.02 for November so far. October, we can close the books on that for October 2023. We've had 0.63. And back in September, 0.42. I mean, it's astonishing, because September was tied for the 5th driest September. October was tied for the 9th driest October. And November's not much better. Granted, it's not over yet. We're getting some rain today and tonight with some storms. But it's going to take a long time to make up for lost time. So I just wanted to say good morning to you. I would say good morning to you. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, I'm doing both today. I'm on YouTube over here. I see Marilyn Bell. Good morning. Good Friday morning. Praying for the rain and for the wildfires in Union County. Everybody needs some of that rain. I agree. Totally agree, Marilyn Bell. Thank you for that. And also on Facebook, as I'm watching you on my phone, Facebook may be interesting, because I'm able to actually see, what I like about it is be able to see who's on and who's watching, even though you may be a little sleepy and maybe haven't had a chance to leave a comment. But I do see, looks like Crystal's on here. She said she's waving or watching. Fred says, good morning, David. Hopefully good rain is coming. I'd say between 1/10 and 2/10. That probably about cover it for most. And I can show you that with my next slide. Wanda says, good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. She says, God bless you all. So thank you, Wanda. Thank you, Fred, for being on here as we're going to look ahead to the actual rainfall. So I've kind of set the stage. How dry is it? Well, that's been outlined on the screen. What about the future rainfall at noon today? I don't even see any. Do you? Hadn't quite made it by noontime. By 2 o'clock, well, maybe sure, we start to see some drops, starts to fill in. That's 5 p.m. today. So for the drive home, might be raining lightly, but can we move forward a couple of hours? Yeah, we'll go up to, say, 9 or 10. Now we picked up about 1/10, as projected by the modeling. Middlesboro, maybe 0.12. It's not a lot of rain, and it's really been drying up over the last couple of days. So to assume that we would get a whole lot, I think it's going to disappoint. But there are some, maybe Sevierville. I think certainly the foothills and Smokies stand the best chance to get about 1/4. About a quarter inch projected there in Greenville, maybe a third where Wandapo is in Newport, and about a tenth of an inch in Jamestown and La Follette. So, again, just not a whole lot. And there will be some residual showers tomorrow. I believe fully that we're going to see some residual showers tomorrow on Saturday for the foothills and the Smokies. So if you're in Townsend, you're in Wallen, you're going camping, you're in the Smokies, or I thought it was supposed to be mostly sunny, there's going to be some residual showers because this thing's going to get hung up. Just as slow as it's to get here, it's going to be just as slow to get out of here. So just be mindful. For the ball game, though, we're going to expect nothing but sunshine for the Vols and the Bulldogs. Now, temperatures, 53 degrees all over the map, right? We've got 46, Middlesboro, 48 for Jacksboro, 48 in Sevierville, 56 in Crossville. 56 in Crossville, and it's 58 right now in Madisonville, 52 in Morristown. These are your current readings. Temperatures today have had to bump up because of the slower start of the rain. Because remember yesterday, where's my notes? Yesterday, we hit 76 degrees. Ooh, didn't you say 75? I did. And I said we'd be close to the record high of 77. You can't get any closer than 76, right? We were 1 degree shy of the record high for the 16th of November. But today's record high is 78 from 1958. Don't think we'll get there. I think we could get closer to 73. 73 is still very warm. I had initially thought 70, but with this slow onset of the rain, I do suspect it's going to be a warm day, even though we'll have more clouds today. No wind really to speak of in Oak Ridge. We've got 3 miles an hour in Knoxville, Morristown, so the winds are light. I suspect they'll pick up 5 to 10 from the southwest later today. And it's no coincidence. If you're expecting a southwest wind, they've already got that in Memphis. They already have that in Jackson. How do you know? Just look at the red arrows. All the red arrows, like fish swimming upstream. They're moving up from the south, from Tupelo, headed toward Paducah, and all that warm air, advection, warm air is transporting in our direction. So we're at 53 now, but Nashville is at 63 at this very hour, and it's 6:47. Notice there are far more clouds now in play as the sun will be coming up just after 7. We'll look at that too, but more clouds in place, so a mostly cloudy sky is anticipated, and all that rain, very little of it I should say, is just now taking shape between, say, Jackson, Tupelo, and over toward Paducah. So today, here's how I modified our expectations. 73 for Knoxville. That's 5 degrees shy of the record high of 78 from 1958. But Morristown, about 72. Look at Newport. 76. Are you telling me we could be in the mid-70s for the Valley? Yes, Southern Valley especially. Southern Valley will be the warmest, I think, today, given the fact that we're waiting for this rain to, like tapping our foot, like waiting. When's this rain going to get here? Most likely the afternoon and more so this evening. 67 in Crossville, 67 for a high in Oneida, so we'll stay in the 60s for many parts of the plateau. So the sunrise and sunset today, we're going up at 7:14. We'll be going down at 5:28 as our days are getting a little shorter as we round out the middle part of November. Heading to school today, and maybe more importantly, the pickup. Is it going to be warm? Sure is. It's going to be warm. In fact, we'll look for a couple of showers and storms on the move, potentially, but temperatures should go from 58 at 10 and then skyrocket to 70 between 2 and 3. I'd say between 2 and 3:30, we're suddenly now in the lower 70s. So the bus stop may include the need for an umbrella for the afternoon. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, whether it's turkey, tofu, or ham. I hope that you're going to be surrounded by friends and family. I hope so. I know it's Friday, and think about that. Where are we going to be a week from Friday? Oh, it's next Friday. Everyone's going to be shopping. They're going to be like crazy shopping before Friday. I'm sure it's because it happens, Thursday afternoon. Some folks are already online, and they're doing their thing. So just know that next week, we're going to see a much colder pattern. And how do you know that? Well, take a look at our friends from NOAA. This is the data. It's my map, but it's their data overlaid on our area. You can see everybody's blue. And the blue follows a legend that it's below average. So we're going to be exceptionally colder than we are now and well below normal by next week. And heading into December, I think some of you might be shocked of how cold it could get. Are you saying we could be in the mid-20s? Yeah. Not in the afternoon, but in the morning, we could be that cold. Just kind of curious, are you excited about that? If you're excited about that, let me know on the Facebook and YouTube. YouTube, I see Steve Stone. He says, happy Friday morning. He's got a happy face. Glad to see Steve. Steve makes me smile. Marilyn's on here praying for some rain as we need to for the wildfires that are burning in not only Union County, but some of the other locations as well. I'm looking here at Facebook. I'm looking at some of the comments that are coming in. Crystal says, bring on the rain. I agree with you, Crystal. Denise Reagan Jarbo, good morning. Praying for rain. I love that. Thank you for doing that. And Becky Connor says, happy Friday. You've made it to the weekend. Now, the question is, will you be ready for the cooler air tomorrow? Because remember, once this rain gets out of here, once these thunderstorms get out of here tonight, well, it's going to be maybe a lot sharply cooler. It's kind of back and forth. I mean, it has to be something, but it will be cooler tomorrow as we'll struggle to get into the lower 60s. All right, so the temperature outlook, if you're looking ahead to the 1st of December, that's what this block of time represents, November 25 to the 1st of the month. And it's going to be sharply colder, centered around the Ohio Valley as far as the coldest. Watching the tropics, we have a new update. Did we get the name Vince? The answer is no, not yet. At least the last update from 5 a.m. The National Hurricane Center, though, did name this tropical depression number 22. Well, that doesn't seem very, very exciting. But then they said this tropical depression number 22 could become a tropical storm. So we'll just call it PTC 22. Isn't that a mouthful? Just call him Vince. I mean, come on. It's academic. I understand why they do this, but for the public at large, they don't always enjoy or celebrate the idea of PTC number 22. Is it a storm or is it not a storm? Yeah, it's like that's the litmus test. But look where this storm goes. It rolls over Jamaica with heavy flooding rains, then into eastern Cuba. And you can see there in eastern Cuba that it's going to be rolling over there by Saturday at 1 a.m. Winds may be around 40 miles per hour, but it also will be bringing some very heavy rain. Then it works its way out to sea, and by that point, he probably is his name Vince. Maybe Vince when he hits Cuba here in the next few hours, but right now it's still labeled as a tropical depression, or if you'll prefer, some prefer the PTC 22, whatever floats your boat, right? But that's the name of it to right now. When it gets its name, I guess we can all say, oh, there's Vince. Okay, it is a storm. But you have to make sure that anyone in its path, especially Jamaica, needs to be aware it's coming. But Whitney would be followed up by Vince if we get another named storm this year. Headlines, showers and storms today and tonight, but the key is it's developing. If you're out the door the next hour or two and you're going, I don't see any rain. Where's this rain? Wait till the afternoon and evening, because we're going to build to a crescendo. That's what's going to happen. And then showers will linger early tomorrow morning for the foothills, for the Smokies. Thinking Wallen, I'm thinking Townsend, I'm thinking Greenville, maybe even some areas, say Cosby. You may still have some rain tomorrow morning, and then you'll think, I thought it was supposed to be sunny. Give it some time. By the time we reach midday, all that will be gone, even in those areas, but then expect plenty of sun for the ball game. Go Vols, and more sunshine on Saturday. Speaking of the Vols, I've had to update this update forecast. It seems like the temperatures kept going up, like they have the last couple of days. The data just says we're going to outperform the modeling. The Bulldogs that come to town are 10-0, but our Vols are 7-3, and it's a big game. It's going to be nationally televised on CBS, 3:30. Kickoff I'm expecting now is 62, so we're in the low 60s. By halftime in the 50s, and by the fourth quarter in the upper 40s. Winds will be light out of the north-northeast, about 3 to 8 miles per hour. So if you're going to the game, let me know. I've got my tie on. Do you have your tie on? Are you wearing some orange today? Are you going to represent the Vols at your workplace or school today? I'm just curious. Love to know. Let me know in the comment section. I see Felicia is watching. Love it. Marjorie is watching. And Felicia said, happy Friday. Have a great weekend, she says. Remember to shop local next weekend. I like that. For Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. I love it. Some of us are already thinking, well, I guess, what is it, Cyber Monday? People get on the line long before that special day, if that's a special day. It's a day. But I did note that Fred says, y'all have a safe and blessed weekend. Go Vols. So Fred is showing his school spirit. I love it. And I see Wanda Poe. David, what is worse, to have El Nino or the other? Thank you. Well, let's think of it this way. El Nino is in effect now. We've got a very strong El Nino, which I described in great detail for my premium members on Captain Accurate Premium on Facebook. But last year it was a La Nina, and some of you thought that was a wimpy winter. This winter should be the polar opposite of that. So if you're not a fan of winter, this is probably not your season. Maybe you may find or need to find a warmer climate, because East Tennessee may have some interesting weather going into the next 30, even 45 days. We'll just throw that out there. A lot could happen between now and, say, December 15th. A lot can happen, and we talk about it each day on Facebook Premium with Captain Accurate. Go to CaptainAccurate.com if you want details on how to sign up. It's very affordable. 53 degrees is our current temperature at McGee Tyson. I alluded to a moment ago of a 3-mile-an-hour wind that seems to be coming out of the north-northeast, and the humidity is 77%. So that's where we are right now. Where are we going? Good question. Should head towards 73. And if you time this out, looks like lunchtime we're still around 63, but could see a 10-degree jump between midday today and about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So pretty sweet because it's going to be riding in from that southwest wind. So our friends to the west, I'm thinking Memphis and Nashville, they're nice and toasty. In fact, Nashville hit 77 yesterday. Wow, we hit 76. They hit 77. It's like it's remarkably warm. But if it can be bullish with the warm temperatures, eventually that pendulum is going to swing in the other direction, and suddenly upper 20s is now mid 20s. You know how it goes. It tends to go back and forth. It's constantly seeking some equilibrium or a little bit of a balance. And the weather right now is headed towards 73 this afternoon with a 60% chance of some rain today, 80% tonight. And then I pull back a wee bit on Monday. Monday looks like we're just setting the stage for Tuesday. Tuesday has an 80% chance of rain on that day. So think about it this way. I know we need the rain. We're not going to cure all that ails us on one fell swoop. This is not a drought-busting rain. It's a tease. Maybe it's an appetizer. Today's rain, tonight's rain with some thunder is an appetizer. But then we get another round on Tuesday, and that may be the best day to look forward to next week if you are hoping and praying for some rain on your lawn. By the way, the Storm Prediction Center, not going to show much in the way of color. We're still in that first box, which has technically no label at all, but it does represent where thunderstorms may appear. And it does show that those thunderstorms, general as they may be, encompass much of East Tennessee. So if we zoom in a little bit tighter, this is a map drawn by our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. They include Wartburg, but not Cookeville. They include Knoxville, but not Chattanooga. So this is where they think thunder may occur. Could include the Tri-Cities. That's how they see it. They also see it in southeastern Kentucky, all the way up to Richmond and Lexington and beyond. But Jellicoe, La Follette, Knoxville, Maryville may all have a thunderstorm today or early evening. Saturday, those thunderstorms may develop in parts of North Texas, Oklahoma, but no thunder here, despite the fact that I have some early showers at least mentioned in the early morning. I think thunder will be over probably before 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. Severe risk may actually grow in the Dallas-Fort Worth area on Sunday, but for us, we're going to be dealing with nothing but sunshine, but they may have some stronger storms in Oklahoma City and in Dallas-Fort Worth. So that's how Sunday plays out. By the way, at 6:57, I'll be done here in about 3 minutes or less. I can finish. I can name that tune. Oh, yes, look at that. Some rain developing. Doesn't look like much at 6:45 or 8. But once we get into the afternoon, look how it begins to develop. Some of those yellow areas around Lexington may grow further south. Oh, yeah, now you're talking. Oh, just leave it there. Let me just soak that in. Oh, if that could just come to my backyard and front yard, my leaves wouldn't be as crunchy, is probably what some of you may be thinking. So we'll get this rain. Maybe it's a tenth, 2/10, maybe a quarter inch or more for the Smokies and foothills. But by and large, this rain will be coming in and gathering some momentum because that's 11 o'clock tonight. The front's moving away, but there's some rain that could get hung up, as it were, hung up in the Smokies as it's trying to lift. That air is lifting, and it's going to be riding into a speed bump, let's say, with the Smokies. And there it is, still lingering a little bit early in the morning. And then high pressure comes in time for the ball game at 3:30. There's 5. Lots of blue sky before the sun goes down. Sunday looks gorgeous, mostly sunny, if not all sunshine. Then some rain around Memphis Sunday night. I think some of that's going to be very limited. I'll put 20% on what comes in on Monday because we're only going to wait for the front to come in on Tuesday to bring in the heavier arsenal. We'll bring in reinforcements of rain on Tuesday. So here's the futurecast. At 6:59, you can see our temperatures rise into the low 60s, mid 60s by noon, but it's a mostly cloudy sky. And then a couple of showers develop here where you see some red. Could be some thunder. 3:30 today, could be thundering in La Follette, Campbell County. Could be raining around Wartburg or Scott County, and maybe a few thunderstorms in Tazewell by 5 o'clock today. That might be a welcome thunderstorm just to get some rain. Morristown, White Pine may be getting some of that rain at 5 p.m. today as well. So this is kind of how the models see this playing out. Then it kind of slows down a bit, and this moves it out of here a little quicker than I think it actually will. But then it clears out certainly before noon. Certainly before noon. The game, of course, 3:30. You'll see temperatures, I think, around 62. I put a stop point there, and then notice that we're going to be cooling accordingly into the 40s by the end of that game. So here's your forecast. At 6:59, 73, that is a bump. I bumped it up 3 degrees. Mostly cloudy, some showers and storms for the day. Today, winds 5 to 10. Looking around the region, 67 for Oneida, 69 for Middlesboro, 76 for Newport, and a nice toasty 74 for Maryville, Alcoa this afternoon. Oak Ridge, 72. Today, we'll look for a high of 71, Tri-Cities and Chattanooga, but only upper 60s for Nashville and Memphis. So for tonight, we're down to about 52. That's really mild. Did you know the normal low now is 37? Is that right? That's my notes. 37, and we're at 52 tonight. But we're going to make up for that. We'll go to 33 the next night. So there's back and forth. That's kind of how weather works. But evening storms are possible tonight. Then the thunder disappears, and we get some leftover showers overnight. And winds are going to be about 3 to 8 miles per hour to the southwest. Lows tonight, 52 in town. 50 in Morristown, only 46 for Middlesboro, Bell County, 47 for Wartburg, 51 Tellico Plains, as well as Athens, and 45 for Crossville in the heart of Cumberland County. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. 62 if we're lucky tomorrow. That's Knoxville. It's going to be much cooler, 50s outside of town. 63 with sunshine on Sunday. And then it's Travel Wednesday in the 50s. So if you're traveling or making plans on traveling on that day, maybe you need to get to Grandma's house or Grandma's coming to your house. There'll be some traveling in the 50s and 40s, as we'll start at 40 in the morning, starting on Turkey Day at 35. Some of you like to do that running thing. Is it the Hot to Trot? Something like that. The big race I know there's in Farragut. So if you're doing some racing or running, doing some exercise on Turkey Day itself, you'll have some cool air to keep you moving. Keep you moving. Maybe some hot chocolate would be in order. But Thursday, highs around 53, and be prepared for some colder air that will follow going right into the month of December with an exclamation point. Because as Wanda was curious, what's the difference, in our case, between the El Nino that we're dealing with now and the La Nina from last winter? Polar opposites, right? So this winter will be sharply snowier than last winter, in my view. And we only had 1.6 inches of snow last year. It was like a wimpy winter. Some would associate a La Nina winter around here as wimpy. Not always, but it was that case last year. By the way, I'm coming back on camera. I have some notes here to follow up on. Becky says happy Friday. Felicia's talking about shopping locally. I love that. And then June is watching. LB Johnson's watching. I got some notes from Ed. Says, good morning. I have a great weekend, and go Vols. Wouldn't it be exciting to take them down? The Bulldogs don't need to come here and win. They need to walk out of here licking their chops. Right? Put the dog in the doghouse. Just do it. And then Dolly's going to be there. Even if you're not a football fan, the fact that if you have a ticket and you get to see Dolly out on the field, that's worth the price of admission just for that, in my view. And, of course, watching the band. I love the band. Love the band. Anyway, we're looking at Janet, Justin, and also Jennifer all watching. So hope you all have a blessed holiday weekend. I know it's not the weekend yet, but it's kind of like the preamble. Well, it's never too early to be thankful for what you have and who you are, and be thankful for all of your neighbors because they need you too. But I thank you so much for being my neighbor. We'll see you here next time. Take care.